Hello, hello. We have a new chapter of One Piece. This one is called The Death of Nefeltari Cobra. And I think they're going to deliver on this promise. Of course, our boy Sabo, sorry, couldn't think of his name for a second, was framed for this murder. I don't think he was the one that did it. In a shocking move, the empty throne was occupied by Imu, this mysterious person that seems to sit atop all of the world's power. A shockingly unprecedented action given that Cobra was in attendance. We could get anything here, and I think whatever we get is going to be on two very, very polarized extremes. Either we are going to learn a whole bunch of stuff, and this will actually have huge lore implications and revelations and exposition. We will actually learn some truths about the fundamental mysteries of One Piece. You know, how is the world government formed? What happened in the Void Century? What happened to the Ancient Kingdom? What is the will of D? These are questions that are on the table. The people that know the answers are in the room. Okay? Or we could just add to our total of fundamental mysteries. We could severely increase the number of things it feels like we don't know. We'll see Imu unleash some very mysterious power. We'll see Cobra just drop dead. We'll see, some infighting among the five Elder Stars that suggests some long history of grudges and inconsistencies in rule. There's so many weird things that could happen in this moment that won't necessarily get explained, that will suddenly make us feel way more adrift and lost when it comes to these fundamental mysteries. And I feel like one of those two things is sure to happen. It could potentially kind of be both and land somewhere in the middle where we get some questions answered and then more questions introduced. But for some reason, just because Oda's kind of that fucker, I think it's going to be one of these huge extremes. And either way, this chapter is going to be a bombshell. Here's a very cute little cover story. Frankie hanging out with turtles, rooting on sea turtle hatchlings as they crawl to the water. Very cute, very cute. Very in line with Frankie, who, really had his own struggles going out to sea. This feeling of setting out on a grand adventure while still honoring the place you came from. You can see why it would really tear him up. Okay. Oh, he's also sitting on a big crab. I see he's holding down the crab so the crab doesn't mess with the turtles. Okay. No one is meant to sit upon that throne. It is not meant for one person's will to sway the entire world. Ooh, and now Imu is talking, which hasn't happened yet as far as I know. They've just kind of wandered around doing weird things. Two things I wish to say and one thing to ask of thee, Cobra. Thee is an interesting translation here. But the idea is that Imu is speaking in a very archaic level of speech, which makes sense because I think it's pretty clear that Imu is some sort of ancient immortal being. Unclear what exactly, but something like that. I know the name Imu already, but it must be a coincidence. Ooh, okay, so there was one of the initial 20 kings of the world was named Imu. It must be a coincidence? I don't know why we would say that. Assuming that they're immortal is, of course, a stretch as well, but I don't think it's a coincidence. You can say, oh, you must be a descendant or something. Do not seek the answer, I will not provide it. But I can tell thee what thou wish to know. The D is the name of those who once opposed us. This is the ancient kingdom that seems prosperous and utopian and technologically advanced, which I have all sorts of theories of my own as to, is the Den Den Mushi a relic from that era? This is one I got cooking. Did I say that one before? I'm so entranced by this idea. but various other weirdly technological things in One Piece, like maybe the dials, things that are like semi-natural, semi-technological, I think are downstream of this castle in the sky style ancient robotics type kingdom, which I'm so excited to see more of. Those who bubble up from every corner of the world bearing the D are nothing but empty husks, ignorant of the meaning of their name. However, okay, because that was one thing I was talking about last time, is like, at the end of the day, a child is born, and the parents have to say, we're going to give this kid the middle initial D, right? And here it's clear, yeah, they don't know why they're doing it, but it's still, like, why are they doing it then? Like, if they don't know about this ancient kingdom, if they don't know the significance of the name, then I don't know. Because, like, well, let's take a look at our Ds. We got Portgas D Ace, who's the kid of Roger. And Roger certainly would have known about this stuff, having gone all the way to Laugh Tale. So him giving Ace that initial deliberately makes a lot of sense to me. We have Trafalgar D Law. I think he has another middle name too. We don't know anything about the circumstances of his birth. We don't know what his parents... Well, like, we know about his childhood, but, like, his parents were doctors, right? I don't know. Would they have known? There's no way they would have known. Was it just a coincidence? Was it just... they thought it would be cool? Jaguar D Sol, we have no idea. Monkey D Luffy, we don't really know what the heck Dragon and his mom were thinking. But... you can assume that Dragon knew? I don't know. Okay, let's just keep going. This isn't worth belaboring too much right now. This recent development has its roots in Queen Lily's great mistake of 800 years ago, during the Void Century, now censored. As does the curiosity of scholars rummaging after the Void Century. As does the spate of pirates seeking the poneglyphs for treasure. If not for Lily's mistake on that fateful day, the loathsome relics called poneglyphs would not have been scattered across the world. And this unfortunate event of the past has one disastrous potential explanation. Was the liberation of the poneglyphs actually a simple mistake, or was it planned? Ooh, okay. So, the poneglyphs were made in Wano to record this true history of the world, maybe at the behest of Queen Lily, who rejected the direction the world was taking and the foundation of this world government. Was it planned? And here the 5 Elder Stars make their moves. I wasn't really sure what they were going to do. The guy who looks like Gandhi has a sword. Everybody else is just pulling out a gun. I thought, well, I don't know. I was of two minds of this. Because I thought it would be kind of cool if at some point we encountered a level of power that was purely political. That was just through, you know, the legal recognition of their power. Sort of like the Celestial Dragons, but, you know, it would make sense that the heads of the Celestial Dragons were also in this position. Where they didn't actually need to have any physical strength or fighting ability, because just their status was enough to demand all of this respect and subservience and stuff. But at the same time, I thought it would be cool if they were, you know, blessed with extremely powerful devil fruits. Like, I remember saying before, wouldn't it be crazy if Saturn J. Garcia just had the death fruit, and he had the ability to just kill people. Zap. You know, just like insanely broken fruits that the world government has controlled for centuries. I think it would kind of make sense, you know, that they would have weapons such as that, and that they would give them to the 5 Elder Stars as like this last-ditch measure to protect themselves, you know, never to be relied on or anything. So, I don't know. It could still be the case that that's what they have, and they're just choosing to shoot Cobra with a bunch of guns, because why not? Like, it's just easier. Answer to that question must be found within Lily's letter sent to Alabasta. But I've only heard thee speak of Queen Lily, of the Nefeltari dynasty. Why do you hide it from Mu? Tell Mu the proper name of the sender. So Mu refers to themselves as Mu. Interesting. If I told you a lie, would I escape the blow? The moment you saw Great Emu, your fate was sealed. I don't know if I understand their interrogation methods of we're gonna kill you either way. So do us a favor before we kill you, out of the goodness of your heart or something. Well, whatever. This is the greatest taboo in the world. Ooh, Nefeltari D. Lily. I see. Sabo, hearing it all. Security around this place is very lax. Now, it looks like Emu is the one that attacked Cobra here, right? With this weird dark arrow. Then Sabo attacks Emu. Would have liked to take you down right here, alas. These giant shadowy monsters protecting Emu. To think there was such a diabolical truth at the pinnacle of the world. There's the pictures being taken that make Sabo look very sus, standing above the corpse of Cobra. You're Luffy's brother. Would save me despite being a revolutionary. Enemies aren't the kings, it's those guys above you. Slaved my life. The way these shadowy monsters are drawn is really cool, by the way. It feels like nothing else in One Piece. They're just totally black. And they have these like weird blobby, like they really don't look like anything else. And for the longest time it was like, ooh, Emu has only been shown in the shadows. We've only seen their silhouette. But it's like, no, I think they just look like that. And I think they're just totally shadowy. And this is like the ancient primordial power they represent. Send a message to Luffy and Vivi. Tell them that we also bear the D. At last I see a way forward for Alabasta. Sadbo. But like, what does this mean? Cobra didn't find out what it means. But he's like, tell them. I'm sure they'll know. I don't know. Okay, so we didn't really get any answers. I mean, there's still plenty of pages left, but it seems like this is all that the Great Emu will tell us. The will of the D. This ends up being perhaps the cornerstone of all the lore in One Piece. I like this very nonchalant, do you want a D too, Sabo? Because I think in the end, at least this is my hope, because I think this would be cool, is that the actual having D in your name doesn't mean anything. It doesn't actually correspond to any sort of innate potential or bloodline power or, you know, anything at all. It's just, you just put it there to signify that you are the enemy of the world government, that you are standing up for this other power, that you are, you know, rebelling and revolutionary and all this stuff. That it's just, you know, that they're totally legit when they say, yo, Sabo, you want a D in your name? You can have one. Because that's all it actually takes. That's what my hope is. That's what my hope is. Skewered again. Okay. These horrible shadow beasts roaring. I need to sneeze. Oh. These shadow beasts roaring, trying to silence the message of Cobra as he dies. The Poneglyphs must be protected. Bear the flag of dawn against the something world. Nefeltari D. Lily. Now the idea of dawn and stuff too really reflects the sun god Nika and all the sun iconography of the Fishman Island slaves and stuff. Okay. They really have such terrible security around here. Sabo, you know, it makes sense. That dude is one of the heads of the Revolutionary Army. His entire life has been around espionage and information gathering and slipping into places, and we saw him sneaking around and stuff before. But Wapol, this dude is like a hippo. He has the subtlety of an ox. I can't believe he managed to see this. They do detect it at this point, but he was just peeping. He was just peeping the whole time. There just happened to be a hole in the wall. If he didn't have bad luck, he would have no luck at all. Didn't want to know. Who was that? My life is over. Yeah, hell yeah. Okay, so now we're back to the round table. They wish us to proceed without them. Because they're dead. I love any shot of this room. Just because they put so much character into all of these random ass kings and stuff. Like, look at it right now. We've got the Lincoln dude. What's this guy's name? He's from like Hamburg Kingdom. And his name is like Samuel or something. I don't know. I'm just guessing. But they had so much fun with all of these random ass country tropes. It's just so great. There's Riku. There's Neptune. Independence of the Four Nation Alliance in North Blue. So they're just, you know, it's business as usual. Yammer, 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 yammer. Say goodbye to Princess Phoebe before we leave. Where could she have gone? So meanwhile, Vivi is getting kidnapped by CP0. I love the stylization of their names, by the way. Jabro with this real flair, Khalifa, so prim and proper. I wonder if it was in English in the original, or if this is just really above and beyond scanlation work. Godan is missing and end up as someone's pet. Now, we already know that Vivi gets away eventually. But it's like unclear whether they're doing this on the orders of Emu, who had that very dramatic scene where they like burn up the picture of Vivi, or if this is like just an unrelated Cypher Pole project to kidnap some troublesome princesses to start quashing some political dissent. Sounds like another incident happened earlier, but long story short, she's fine. Guys wallop the Celestial Dragon, try to abduct the Mermaid Princess. Name themselves loud and proud as a follower of Straw Hat Luffy. Fujitora helped the revolutionary and free slaves. Ryokuku snapped and turned on him. It's referees, but something else. I like the CP0, formerly CP9, is like kind of a little ambivalent about all this stuff. Like, their decrees of justice kind of vary quite a bit. But for Jabra and for some of the other ones, it's just like, that's interesting, huh? Never a dull day, ha ha ha. Just this kind of like, you know, callous indifference to like everything that's happening. Whoa, Wapol eating his way through. Oh yeah, because Wapol ends up with Vivi, right? Am I crazy? Am I remembering this right? It's like the ordering of the way the story was told is so complex, because we saw the setup like 5 years ago. Then we saw some of the payoffs, like we saw where various characters were in present day. Then we had like a flashback to the right after the Reverie ended. seeing like what the ultimate aftermath was of these particular days, and now we're going back to see what actually happened during those days. So it's like it's tough for me to piece all the pieces together. It would be interesting to read like truly chronological One Piece and to see all of this happen in the middle of Wano and then just go back to Wano. Okay. Wapol eats his way through. Vivi's gone. Because Vivi knows about Wapol. Here's his wife, who we saw in the cover story before. Yeah, Vivi knows about Wapol because Vivi was there for Drum Island. Alright, crazy. So the interesting thing is that all these people, like Wapol ends up with the World News dude, whose name eludes me right now. It's some silly name like Birkins. Does he tell that Flappy Bird about Emu and stuff? I don't know. Or do they decide, maybe he tells him, but they're like, yeah, we're not going to publish this. That they're just going to nuke us off the face of the earth if we publish this. Okay. Crazy. Fun chapter. An unexpectedly fun chapter by the end. After some pretty crazy situations at the start. Alright. See ya later. Okay. Huh. Crazy. Okay, goodbye.